So good morning, Jennifer. Thank you so much for meeting with me this morning. How are you today?
I'm doing well, Jeffrey.
Yeah.
Thank you.
How's the weather up north?
Up north, it's beautiful. A
It is?
whopping, 60 degrees.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy, huh?
Yes.
Yeah, but you still want to make that move to Florida though, right? Because it's not always going to be 60 degrees up there.
Oh, yes, absolutely. I'm still headed to Florida. Yes, I got
Mhm.
Florida's at the top of my list.
Great. So what I like to do today, if it's okay with you, I like to just go through some of the points of how we represent buyers here in Florida and how working with my team would benefit you as a buyer. Would that be okay?
Sounds great. Thank you.
Great. So I'm going to actually email you this presentation when we're done, but I kind of want to just go through it briefly. We're not going to read every single page, but we're just going to kind of touch on each of the areas so that you're familiar with the type of representation that we offer. So, excuse me, guys, let me get this out of my mouth. There we go.
Is that good? Yes, that sounds like it tastes real good, Jeffrey. I don't know what you're eating over there, but it sounds delicious.
I did it for my throat. So anyway, so there you go. So we're going to talk today a little bit about your dream home. What does that look like for you? Your preferences, the neighborhood that you may be interested in most on. I also, you are a first-time home buyer, right, Jennifer?
Correct.
Yes, I do want to go over the buying 101 process with you. I think it would be very helpful for you to understand what you're going to be going through and what potential roadblocks you might find so that we could avoid them. Would that be helpful?
Yes.
Great. And of course, we're going to go over the service that me and myself and my team provide and my promise to you at the very end. So, this is a great decision you're making. You're making a magnificent decision to purchase a home, right? You're tired of paying rent, aren't you?
Oh, very much so. Yes.
Yeah, because when you pay rent, you're actually building somebody else's equity, building somebody else's wealth. It's time to put that money back in your pocket. So I'm so excited for you in that regard. So let's talk about you, because your needs always come first, Jennifer, always. You see, in this process, my team really believes in the idea that the customer comes first. I never said the customer is always right, but the customer comes first. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right. So your needs come first. Whatever you're looking for, that's my job. My job is to help you find it. You might have a very clear picture of that. You might not have a very clear picture of that. Whatever you need, we're going to make that happen. So let me ask you a question. What is the one thing that has to happen, Jennifer, for you to make that move to Florida?
One thing that needs to happen other than finances and being qualified, I need to make sure that my house has the neighborhood. I need to be in a safe neighborhood for my family.
So the couple of things I heard there is we have to make sure your financing's in order and it's very solid.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
And then you want to be in a neighborhood that's safe for your family.
Yes.
Awesome. How can we, as Lux Places and Spaces Group, how can we help you with that process?
I don't know, offering me some resources that I could use to check out the neighborhoods. Either we have any information that would be helpful just to help me navigate the neighborhoods that I'm going to be new to, potentially.
Awesome. Do you have your financing in place at this point, Jennifer, or do you need some help with that to make sure that we have some solid financing?
Oh, financing wise, yes, I've already been pre-approved. That's, I think we're good on the financing part.
Yeah. And that lender is in Florida, Jennifer?
Correct.
Great.
Correct.
Awesome. Great. Thank you so much. So one of the things that I want to share with you after this call is my app. And my app is absolutely free. There's no cost to you. And by the way, Jennifer, you can search for homes anywhere in North America. From where you are in Ohio down to here to Florida, you can search for homes wherever you'd like. It's simple, it's easy, and it's connected to the multiple listing system. So the information that you're going to see on that app is up to date every single minute. So you're not going to find properties that are already under contract necessarily like you do on some other sites. Okay. This is real live time. So I would love for you to play around, start using the app for your searches. Would that be okay?
Yes. Absolutely.
Awesome. Matter of fact, I'm going to take a couple of seconds here and send it to you right now. I'm going to text it to you. You should have received it. Do you see it on your phone?
Did you really send it to me?
No, not at all.
Oh, okay. Oh, like I didn't know you had my phone number. Yes, it actually just came through my phone. It looks, yep.
Awesome. 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 So just play around with that and give me some feedback also. Let me know how you like it. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
So one of the things that I would like to accomplish today, Jennifer, is I like to build your preference profile. And what that means is I like to create what we call a wants and needs list. Now, wants and needs are kind of the same, but quite different. And let me explain to you what we're going to put on each side. Wants is if you close your eyes and you dream and dream and dream about the perfect home, most of that's going to be wants.
Mhm.
Needs are what you absolutely cannot do without. And you just cannot buy that home if it doesn't have something specific. For instance, I know you have a family, you have 3 kids. It would be hard for you to buy a 1 or 2 bedroom home, wouldn't it?
Yes.
Right. That's not a possibility. So 3+ bedrooms is an absolute need,
Got it.
right?
Yes.
And with 3 kids and your husband and yourself, I'm sure that 2 bathrooms are at minimum or absolute need also. Would you agree?
Yes.
Okay. So I got my first 2 needs. What else do you absolutely need in this next home, Jennifer?
A pool.
Huh?
I'm sorry?
Comfy? No?
Oh, sorry, that's not me.
Okay, somebody, if you're not talking, please mute. Jennifer, what do you need? What do you
Okay, so
absolutely-
well, I have a large dog, so preferably a fenced-in yard, and then also a place with a pool.
Okay, so a fenced in yard. If the yard is not fenced, we could still fence in the yard, right? So I mean, I
Yes.
think that
If-
it's kind of that could go to both sides. So we'll put it that we need a yard for the dog to run in and play, but preferably fenced. But
Yes.
does that work?
Yes.
Great. What else?
And I have to have a pool. I'm not moving to Florida without a pool.
That's great because that's what I said. I'm not moving to Florida without a pool either. And I've used in 16 years, I've used it about 5 times. No, I get that too. So again, with a pool, would you be willing to build a pool if the perfect house came up and it didn't have a pool but had room for a pool? Would that be okay?
Yeah, that's definitely an option.
Okay. So again, on the need side, we're going to put a yard large enough for a pool, preferably already has a pool.
Yes, got it.
Okay, great. What else?
What else? Oh, a nice eat. I need. Let's see. Oh, geez. The neighborhood wise, it's got to have stuff for the kids to do. So it's got to be in a neighborhood where there's options to go parks, stuff like that.
Okay.
Would that be more of a want?
No, I think that's absolutely neat. I mean, like your lifestyle is very important to you, isn't it?
Yes.
So you want enough recreational activities, parks nearby, that type of stuff, so that
Yes.
your kids can enjoy the lifestyle of being here in Florida. I think that's an absolute need.
Okay, good. Me too. Thank you.
Awesome, great. So anything else you can think of at this point that we absolutely need?
No, I think at this point we've covered the most needs right there.
All right. So now give me your top 3 wish list. It's not actually a need, but oh gosh, if the house had it, this would be so awesome.
If the house had this would be so awesome. A covered lanai, an eat-in kitchen, and a 2-car garage.
Great. So you like to cook?
Yes, love to
Okay.
host.
You love to host. So great. That's why you like to eat in the kitchen. You like to have everybody around you while you're cooking and stuff.
Yes,
Awesome. Great. And the 2-car garage, do you need it for storage or for actual cars?
cars.
All right. Great. Great. So now that we established your absolute needs, your top 3 wishes, we could go to work and looking for those properties for you.
Mhm.
All right. So let's talk about the neighborhood. You did tell me you would love to have a place where there's recreational activity stuff for the kids. May I ask, how old are your children?
Young, 5 and 7.
And what do they like to do in their spare time?
Ride bikes, go swimming, play with friends, play basketball, everything outside, everything outdoors.
Oh, yeah. So Florida is absolutely the place for you then, right?
Yes.
It's funny when my kids moved down here, one was in high school and one was in fifth grade, and they were both big baseball players. It wasn't hard for me to get them to Florida because they realized they could play baseball all year round.
Bonus.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, what do you like about the neighborhood you live in right now up north?
It's safe, it's friendly. It's got sidewalks, which is nice. So the kids, it feels a little safer, and it's off the beaten path. So, yeah, and it's just it feels very safe for me and my family.
Great. And let me ask you on the other side, what don't you like about it? Is there anything you don't like about your neighborhood?
Um, no, you know what? I'm living in a neighborhood that's been established for quite some time, so it's got a much older community in it, which I think makes it feel safer. But it's the residents are much older than the rest of my family. And the school of choice is a little bit farther than I'd like it to be.
Okay. So how close would you like to be to a school in this new home?
Within a mile.
Mhm. Okay, great. So Natalie, the reason why I'm spending so much time on the neighborhood is because your neighborhood is definitely an extension of your home. Would you agree?
Yes, absolutely.
Right. So the surroundings in the neighborhood are very important. The activities in the neighborhood are very important. And I'm going to help you along the way of getting to know the neighborhoods. I know you've been down here a couple of times visiting your sister, but have you really dived into certain areas and neighborhoods, or do you need more information on certain neighborhoods?
I would love as much information as possible just because I'm going to be so new to the area and I really don't know anything about Florida. So as much information that could be handed over, I'd appreciate it.
Great. So as we're focusing in on certain homes and the style of homes you like, and we come up with the neighborhoods that you might be interested in, what I will do is provide you links to neighborhood blogs, to more information about the neighborhoods. I will get you some statistics on neighborhoods in regards to education levels, medium incomes, unemployment, all of that to help you make a good, solid decision in regards to the neighborhoods.
Perfect. Great. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Great. Thank you. So what is the best time for you to buy, Natalie? I mean, Jennifer, I'm sorry. Jennifer, what is the best time? Ideally, what would be the best time to make this move?
When is the best time? Well, as far as I'd like to move in the summertime instead of during the winter time, but it's the sooner the better. So I'm all set, ready to go. I've got a twin sister that moved to Florida already, so I'm actually looking to get down there, and she keeps calling me on a daily basis, wanting to know when I'm going to be down there. So and maybe even before the kids start school back up again.
That's cool. That's cool. Your sister sounds like somebody that's really like she's persistent, huh?
She sure is, that twin sister of mine.
Yeah. But you love it. It sounds like you love her and you want to get to her though.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to being close to her being
That's
close
cool.
to her again for sure. That
Yeah.
looking
So
forward
on
to
a
it.
scale from 1 to 10, how important is it for you to get close to your sister?
On a scale of 1 to 10, 10.
Awesome. There you go. There you go. So basically the right answer is when you find the right home is the right time, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah, great.
absolutely.
Because we do have an inventory challenge here. And, if you were making this move 4 or 5 years ago, we'd have a lot more choices out there than we do today, Jennifer. So it's really important when you fall in love with the home, it is really important for you to make a move on that home. And if we found a home in the next 7 days, Jennifer, would you be willing to make a move at that time?
Yeah. I mean, you could put the fire up under the hiney, but I'm gonna do it.
All right. Awesome. Great. So let's talk a little bit about how the home buying process works. Okay. The first thing is find an agent, and you already have, haven't you?
I'm sorry?
I said, let's talk about the home buying process and how it works, Jennifer. Okay. And the first
Yes.
step is finding the right agent. And, we've already checked that off our box, haven't we?
Yeah, I got one. He's great. His name's Jeffrey.
There you go. So so I just want to make sure that you understand how you and I are going to work together. Okay. So
Okay.
just take a few minutes to just discuss that. My job, as I said in the previous slide, is to work for you. Your needs come first. That's what you want in the agent, right, Jennifer?
Absolutely.
Great. So in the state of Florida, I don't want to go too technical, but in the state of Florida, when you call a real estate agent and have a conversation with them, you expect them to be working for you, wouldn't you?
Yes.
Well, unfortunately, that's not the case. In the state of Florida, if an agent does not have any type of specific agreement with you to represent you, that agent is known as a transaction broker. And that means that the only loyalty that agent has is to the transaction itself, not to the buyer, not to the seller in the transaction. That doesn't sound a lot like somebody that's going to represent your interest, does it, Jennifer?
No, I want somebody who's definitely going to be working for me.
Yeah, well, that's great because that's how we work. We work as exclusive buyer agents, and myself and my team. It's the only way we work. So I'm happy to hear that that's the way you want to work. And what that really means is that our loyalty is 100% to you, to your interest only. Quite frankly, we don't care what the seller wants. It's irrelevant. We care what you want and getting you the right price, the best terms and conditions in the transaction. So I will send you over our agreement for you to review, and I'll go over that with you line by line right after the presentation. And if everything sounds great, we're ready to get started.
Okay.
Great. So you did tell me you already got pre-approved by a lender. If you could send me that letter, I'd love to take a look at it and review it. I am not a lender. I'm on the real estate side, but I've worked over my 25 years with many, many lenders. So I know some of the red flags to look at and question. So if you send that over to me, I'll take a look at it and see if there's anything that we have to address.
Yes, Nick, real quick question, Jeffrey. So if there is there should I be getting different letters, like from different numbers, to see if anything works out better for me? Or are they all pretty much going to be the same?
So, when it comes to your finances, I really do think shopping is an option, okay? Because at the end of the day, you might get a better terms and conditions from one lender over another. So what I'd like you to do is, you have your pre-approval letter from your lender. I would love to put you in touch with Tina Mulligan with Cardinal Financial. She is actually the lender that most of my clients use. So she treats them very, very well and really puts the pencil to paper to get the lowest rates for them and compare. Would that be okay if I have her get?
Absolutely. Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Great. We also, we're going to come up to it, but we also have, since you're working with me as a Keller Williams agent, we also have another incredible benefit for you. You have an option to use Keller Mortgage. And Keller Mortgage is great because what's really great about Keller Mortgage is at closing, they actually give you $1,000 credit just for doing business with them and using Keller Williams.
Okay, it's a mortgage and Keller lender. Would you call
it? Keller Mortgage is a nationwide lender.
Okay.
And that's another place that you can shop. So you have your person that you've got your pre-approval letter. You're going to have Tina, another live person to speak with, and then Keller Mortgage, which most of that is actually done online. So 3 options there for you to find the best rates.
Perfect. Right. Sounds good.
And I've done business with with 2 of the 3. I have not done business with your lender yet, but I do know that those 2 or 3 will get your deal closed.
Okay.
Right. So once we find the property of your dreams, my job is to negotiate the best terms and conditions for you. It's not always about price. It's about terms and conditions also. So we're gonna go into that deeply when we're making our offer, and we're gonna make you the strongest possible buyer. And what I mean by that is, again, even sellers don't just look at price. They look at the inspection period. They look at the appraisal period. They look how long it takes to get a loan commitment. Because at the end of the day, they want to sell their property. Anybody could offer anybody any price, but if it doesn't close, does it really make a difference?
No.
No. When we're under contract, you're going to be pretty nervous as a first-time home buyer. You think?
Oh yeah, this is going to be the biggest purchase of my life.
So we're going to hold your hand every step of the way. And in my team, I have a dedicated person that is my contract to close coordinator. And her name is Joy Eden. And Joy is going to be your personal hand-holding concierge from the time we go into contract to the actual time you get the keys. You'll always have somebody by your side. You'll always have somebody to answer your questions, besides myself, of course, too, but somebody that's there for you, and that's their job and that's their focus. Does that sound like something that could be helpful to you, Jennifer?
Oh, yes.
Great. And before you close, we're going to do a walkthrough, and we're going to make sure that you have all the utilities turned on, and we're going to review all the documents that the title company has with you. We're not attorneys, but again, we know what to look for. And we're going to make sure that we do that walkthrough and make sure the property is in the condition that you expect it to be in, the condition as we saw it. And if there was any inspection issues that needed to be taken care of, we're going to make sure those were taken care of for you too.
All right. Great. I appreciate
Then
it.
on the closing day, that's the exciting day, right? And by
Yeah.
the way, if we're doing a mortgage, that's probably anywhere from 30 to 45 days out from the time we go to contract. But when we get to that closing day, gosh, there's a lot of things that need to be coordinated. Your movers, the title company, the mortgage company. Don't worry about it. We'll help you with all of that. We're going to coordinate all that for you.
Bottles of champagne, you got that too?
What do you like to drink, by the way? You like Vouv?
No, champagne, just something to celebrate with. Just something to do a toast
Oh,
with.
I got the perfect bottle for you.
Awesome. Appreciate it. Good looking out.
And you like strawberries or chocolate with that?
Chocolate, please.
There you go.
Bring it on.
All right. I'm making myself a note.
Yay.
Okay. And then we're going to be sitting at that title company. You're going to sign all your documents, and then I'm going to hand you over your keys. How does that sound?
Great.
Yeah, that's it. Jennifer, you're not alone. That's all I want you to remember. You are, when you work with us, you get a whole team of people that are there to help you every step of the way.
All right. Appreciate it. That makes me feel better about choosing you as my agent.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. So far, does everything sound great and everything? You ready to get started?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Awesome.
Take a look.
Good. So you know what? I've learned, and I train my other agents, when somebody says, let's do it, shut up. Okay. But here, I just do want to touch with you on a couple of other things, and then I'll send you over all the agreements that we need to get started. Okay.
Okay.
So let's just, in your package, you have some information about Keller Mortgage, about the 0+ loan option. Okay. So review it at your time. Okay. And see if it's an option for you. Some information about me, working with me. I have 23 years experience, over 2,500 transactions under my belt. So I kind of think I know what I'm doing at this time.
Yeah. I would hope so.
Right. And I do think, you see this piece right here, Jennifer, at the bottom. I just
Yeah.
want you to understand the company and our philosophy of the people you're working with. We have something called the Y4C2Ts, and the W stands for win-win or no deal. It has to be a good situation in any negotiation, in any relationship. It has to be a win-win for both sides. Would you agree on that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So even when we're negotiating with the seller, I mean, listen, my job is to get you the best deal possible, but also we need to put you in the best position for me to negotiate the best deal possible. And if we tick off the seller with a ridiculous offer to begin with, that's not going to be a good negotiation, is it?
No.
Okay. Integrity, we always do the right thing, and I think in life, that's just, what? We do the right thing, not the thing that's good for us. We do the right thing, and that we truly believe that. Remember, I told you customers always come first, right? That's actually in our belief system. Commitment in all things. I'm committed to finding you the home of your dreams. Communication. This is a real key, important piece, Jennifer. We got to communicate.
Absolutely.
Whether it's good, bad, or indifferent, we got to communicate, because that's how we're going to create a win-win situation and a great process. Would you agree?
Yes.
Creativity, believe me, my team comes up with some creative ways in order to make sure that your deals are accepted, and also to find you some inventory that may be off market. So, we use our creativity in that work. Teamwork, that's all of us. That's my team, myself, you. We're going to get this together. We all achieve. Trust starts with honesty, and success is through people.
Okay.
Does that sound like a belief system that you could believe in, Jennifer?
Yeah, I like it.
Awesome.
I'm on board.
So again, you've decided to hire me and Keller Williams, and our proof is in our numbers. I mean, these are some of our latest statistics, how we're outpacing the market, and every month we'll keep you updated on that too. And remember, Jennifer, we are your trusted partner. And when I say that, we are the partner in this transaction, okay? This is a team effort at the end of the day. And you know what's great at the end of the day too? We all win. You get your home, my team gets paid. Isn't that a wonderful thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I have some testimonies here from people that have done business with me in the past. And again, I'm going to send this all to you and leave this to you. Feel free to reach out to them. If you need some, if you really just want to connect with some people, I'll be happy to provide that to you too. And again, I said to you at the very beginning that I'm going to make a promise to you at the end. I cannot promise that I'm going to find a house for you. What I can promise, Jennifer, I will turn over every rock. Okay, I will go to all ends of the earth to find that right house for you. But there's things that I can't control.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
But we are going to work for you, and we're going to work for you in your best interest, and always look out for you. And that is what you want in a real estate agent, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And I need a promise from you too. If that's, because that's the win-win. I need a promise. I need a promise for you that you're going to enjoy the process. You're going to look forward to your new home, and that if any questions come up, you're going to reach out to me.
Got it. Deal. Promise.
Awesome. And then we're going to have that champagne and chocolate.
Yeah, I was going to say, don't forget to include that in that promise right there, Jeffrey. That's important.
And
almost as important as the movers.
I love it. I love it. And again, we have a promise to the community also, by the way. When you work with us, you're working with somebody that actually gives back to the community. And from your transaction, I am going to donate a portion of the commissions to KW Cares, which is our organization that helps people in need in times of natural disasters, fires, those types of things, and some other charities within the community, because we believe that being a realtor is about building communities.
Okay. I like it. Yeah.
So the bottom line is, guess what? Are you ready to get started, Jennifer?
Let's do this.
All right.
No.
All right. So and then I'm going to go into emailing you all the documents to sign to get this thing started. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, guys. So comments, questions. That's pretty much my presentation. I'm going to let me just stop sharing my screen so I can see you all. There we go. There's Nick.
No, you know what, Jeffrey, I'm going to say that honestly, since I just moved, since I really honestly did just purchase a house, moved here a couple months ago from Michigan, my real estate agent didn't work with Keller Williams, and she did not go over nearly as much as the information that you did with me.
That's why I picked you, because everybody else is here is a real estate agent that is being trained by Keller Williams. Okay. That's exactly why I picked you. What you just said, Jennifer, is the norm. Okay, guys, I want everybody that's on this call this morning, 90% of the agents do not take the time to have that conversation with a potential buyer. They put them in their car or they meet them at a property and they show them a house. 90%. We spend an hour, hour and a half, and probably a couple hours in advance before we go on a listing presentation to make sure that all our I's are dotted, T's are crossed. But when it comes to a buyer, we've just put them in the car or show up at a house and open the door for them. Is the commission the same in most cases on a buyer side or a seller side?
Yes. Isn't it?
Yeah. And sometimes even more, depending on the market. So why are we spending so little time showing value to a buyer? But yet we spend so much time showing value to a seller.
They're worried about wasting time.
Yeah. So if you're a buyer and you got that and nobody else you spoke to gave that presentation or even gave them that information, how are you going to feel at the end of that? Nick, I see you shake your head.
Insecure.
Yeah, well, but you're also going to feel really good about the agent that just gave that to you. They care.
Yes, right.
Yeah, that you
right.
understand the process in the transaction. So, and Jennifer, by the way, you played a great buyer in this transaction. Thank you. Great
Thank you.
job on this presentation. Love to hear from some others. Go ahead.
Hey, Jeffrey, I have a
Yes,
question. Did you go through Command to create that buyer's presentation?
absolutely, 100%. That is the buyer presentation that's in Command. The only thing I can tell you is some of those pictures may have been changed out because there may have been more northern pictures. I don't think you want to do a buyer's presentation in Florida with snow, right? Okay, or mountains. Okay, so you could swap out some of those pictures. You don't have to use all those pages either.
Okay.
Now, if I was sitting with somebody, the exclusive buyer's agency agreement would be right there and right after that, right? Or my loyalty agreement, whatever I'm using would be there right after that. I also like to give my buyer's agents a stack of my business cards with a stamp across them that says buyer agent or a sticker on the back that says exclusive buyer agent. So if they go out and they go to a new construction site or they go to an open house, I teach them that make sure you hand out my card and make sure that they're going to work with me. If not, wait and I'll be there. You know, we'll schedule an appointment to go see it together. You know, I give them all the roadblocks that they may run into in regards to you know, if they go without me, quite frankly, okay, because and I'm very clear that you know, if they go without me and there's not a commission that's shared with me, they may owe me something. So you know, I put them in the right position. Let's put it that way. Okay.
Okay.
Anybody else?
Yeah, Jeffrey, if you're meeting with them in person, do you have a PDF that you've created that you print out and give them?
Yeah. I do a binded. I would do a whole, you know, either spiral binded or binded presentation to give them to them to take home. I actually create a folder, Joe, with a lot of other information in it. If you have preferred vendors like movers and that type of stuff that offer discounts and stuff, that's a great place to put that too, right?
Yeah.
Maybe create a package with some of your preferred vendors, whether it be your office preferred vendors or your own preferred vendors. Maybe like a $50 off an inspection from an inspection company, those types of things, right? I would maybe even put a list of preferred. Paul's big in trusted advisors or contacts. I put maybe a list of, you know, my trusted people in there as a value to my preferred vendors. You know, my plumbers and my electricians. Here's a list of people that you might need or use in the future that we vetted, we've done business with, we know they're good, right?
I have
So-
another question.
Yeah, go ahead.
I ask a lot of questions. I'm sorry. So as far as
Good.
for when you go in for I guess you'll get all this information when you go in for buyer's consultation, when you sit them down in the office, whatever, you'll get all these like the needs, the wants, all that. And then you'll establish the buyer's presentation so that when you're showing them homes, they have all that paperwork in front of them. Correct?
Yes.
Okay.
What I've also done in the past is, Joe, just to give it another, I got them from 4imprint back in the day. I don't know how much they are today, but I actually ordered with my information, these little journals or notebooks for them, so that when they're going out seeing properties, they could take notes on each of the property. But my name and information is right on the front, the cover of that thing all the time.
That's an interesting idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
So really, when you become a buyer, when you become an exclusive buyer with me, it's just not, I hand you the MLS printouts and that's it. You know, it's a professional relationship. It's like when you go to a lawyer's office or a financial planner or something like that. We raise the level of that relationship.
Do you ever end your presentation by actually showing them homes? You know, maybe beyond.
No, I mean, listen, my goal is to get the exclusive buyer agency agreement signed.
That's
right?
the point.
Yeah, it's just like a listing appointment. It's to walk out with the listing. Then we talk about the next steps. No, if they're only in town for 2 or 3 days and you see something they want to see, why not? Let's go out and see it, right?
When the listing, that agreement is somewhat lengthy. I've looked at it and found it to be It's a lot of legalese.
You don't have to read, you don't have to go through it line for line. You go, here's your name, here's your thing, here's the types of properties you told me you're looking for. You're looking in Palm Beach County. Our agreement goes from now to whenever, you know, here's my responsibilities, here's your responsibilities. You ready to get started?
So that's another part of the presentation, going over that contract.
Yeah. And some people will read it line by line, and some people will just follow what you're telling them and they'll sign it. At this point, they're really like, they want to work with you.
I'm sure they would. It's just such a nice presentation.
Mm-hmm.
Question.
So, yeah, go ahead, Paul.
I
Okay.
was going to ask
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Paul, or I was going to ask, does Keller Williams have kind of like a presentation made up to give to buyers, or is it the kind of thing where it's unique?
That's it. That's in command. What I just showed you came out of command and designed to command. In your case, you go see John Slasovich and he'll show you how to make that happen.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
Paul?
Hey, sorry, Nick, I called you Paul.
It's okay.
Say,
Hi, Paul.
there's the DJ. Was because we've been given this valuable tool from Jeff, and I know that you're recording it on Zoom. Does anybody know how, or if Jeff allows, is it possible, Jeff, that we could maybe post it onto a closed page on YouTube and then to be able to review it regularly? And I'm not sure how the YouTube does translation.
Yes, we do have a channel in our office, and I'll send this to John Slasovich, our tech trainer, and we'll upload that and we'll send it.
Okay, maybe get a translation somehow. I don't know how that works on YouTube.
I don't either, but we'll let John figure
I'll
that
ask John
out.
do that.
Yeah, we'll let
Okay,
John figure that out.
all right. Yeah, I
Well,
like
then
how you did like the periodic confirmation of closing.
Well, how
Awesome.
do we get it over here on the west side?
I will give you the link. Our
Okay.
YouTube channel is open to the public, so. we'll
Okay,
do that.
thank you.
Natalie, you're part of the group here now, but Natalie, we're not going to hide anything from you.
You know, it's funny because I was in my market center yesterday and they're like, well, hold on, how are you getting on these? It was so funny. They were asking me like, how are you getting on these calls and how are you doing these role playing? And I'm like, believe me, I go where nobody goes, and I find and I
Awesome.
pick people's brains and I just join them. And they're like, really? And I was like, yeah, I do. I'm curious. So I'm glad I found you.